Good day, everybody, and welcome to the Bible in a Year 2021. We are on day 346, and we're reading through Acts chapter 20 to 23. So, a lot of stuff going on here, and I definitely love that relationship we see that Paul has with the Ephesians, where he's heading towards Jerusalem and he actually bypasses Ephesus because he knows he's going to get delayed and waylaid there, and calls for the elders from the next city to come and see him. But there's a bigger picture thing going on here, and it's why is Paul going back to Jerusalem? He's written the Romans to say that he wants to see them on his way to Spain. So these are the plans are in Paul's mind. But he also acknowledges that the Holy Spirit has told him to go to Jerusalem, and not good things are going to happen there. The Holy Spirit has already told him that it's not going to be the best of times for him. But Paul's going. And everywhere they stop, there's prophets that are warning him and telling him, just stay away from there. don't go there. He comes into Caesarea and he stays with Philip, the evangelist, one of the seven, who has prophetic daughters. But there's a prophet who comes and ties himself up and says, the Spirit says this is what's going to happen to you in that place. And yeah, what's going on here? Like, okay, the Holy Spirit tells Paul to go, and all the way along, the prophetic people are telling him not to go because it's not going to end well. That the Jewish leadership is going to hand him over to the Gentiles, and so like he's going into this knowing full well what's going to happen, and he's still going. So either Paul just was doing this on his own, or those who are speaking to him prophetically spoke to him prophetically saying what was going to happen, but then in their flesh, in themselves, they couldn't imagine the church without Paul. They couldn't imagine harm coming to him, and in their flesh, in themselves as people, they're telling him don't do it. So the Spirit is speaking through them prophetically to Paul to make sure that Paul is well prepared. He's mentally, emotionally prepared for what he's about to face. It's just verified every step, every place he stops. It's just verified what's going to happen. But then the people who the Lord is speaking through. See, we don't allow for that in the church. We think that when somebody prophetic is speaking, they're always speaking prophetically. And it's hard for us to distinguish the difference between the prophetic voice and the voice of that human being. And when that voice of the human being reacts to what he or she is hearing themselves in that situation, because I've been there. I've been there where I've been praying over somebody and just suddenly prophetically, line by line, it's just coming out of my mouth, and there's almost like a disconnect from it, and I don't own it. It's not part of me. It's just coming through me, and I'm learning about the situation as I'm speaking. So it's not something where sometimes the Lord gives us, as pastors, the Lord will give us insight and revelation in a person's life so that we will then go and counsel them and help them and encourage them. But prophetic isn't about that. Prophetic isn't about counseling. Prophetic is about revelation of, things being revealed, really, things being revealed. And so I can perfectly understand these people. Paul's important to them. They love him. And this is where we can make a mistake as well if we're operating in the prophetic. Those who are operating have to really understand the distinction about their own feelings, their own emotions, their own desires for that person who's in front of them, and actually what the Lord is saying. Because the Lord does not want us to deal with this person intellectually, from like there's a time for wisdom, and there's a time for the prophetic. um, and that's not to discredit the wisdom, because there are times that he gives us wisdom that we use the resources that are at hand. But prophetically, it's usually moving us into a place. Um, yeah, it's all going to be kind of supernatural stuff that's going to be going on. And so you have to distinguish in yourself, what is the voice of God and what's my own desire for this person. And you got to be careful not to cross that line. I'm going way over time. Anyway, I hope that you can read this, understanding this, that there is a difference between the desire of the people and the desire of the Spirit, and Paul's going with the desire of the Spirit. Not surprised there, right? You guys be blessed, be encouraged, and we will catch up with you tomorrow.